My people, the problem of ADC has not really ended. And I don't know when they will put their house in order before 2027. And the way it is going, I don't really know, I don't really understand. They might not be in the ballot come 2027 for the general election. But the problem now is, or the question rather, who is behind, the frustration of ADC? Who is behind the frustration of ADC? Because they are not really getting it easy. It seems that all the political parties, they have one problem or the other. It seems that even the APC itself want to be the only contender in this coming 2027 election. They don't want any opposition. That's what it is, the way I'm saying it. And Atiku actually spoke out, saying that the Inec are really aiding and abetting with the ruling party. They are aiding and abetting, and you know what that means? It's a crime in the Constitution of Nigeria. But since the ruling party are the one in charge, I don't think the law will catch up with them. I don't think so. The law can't catch up with them because they are the law themselves. Anyway, I would like you to watch the full analysis.
His own led ADC has uploaded the presidential candidate and the National Assembly that in fact they are successful with the uploading of their candidate into the Inec portal. That's why I said yesterday, maybe, just maybe, we will have ADC 1 and ADC 2. And this is not right, because Atiku make reference to the Constitution and the electoral and the provision which require a political party to upload one valid candidate per position into the Inec portal. So therefore, if Inec has obliged the Matthew Gobi a code, an access code to the Inec portal, and also obliged access code to that of David Mark-led ADC, then you are going to have two candidates for one position from one political party. And this do not end with ADC alone. We have the Wike-led PDP and you have the Turaki-led PDP. Both have sold form and they have also given out, EC9, and that's the INEC form to their candidate. And though we have not confirmed, there's also a rumor out there that they both have access code to upload their candidate. This is also playing out in Social Democratic Party, where you have the one led by Gaban, which is the authentic one, and then you have the one, because in the case of SDP, it's very pathetic, because for a long time, over 10 months stretch, Gaban was pushed out of his lawful office, and it was merely restored to office barely a month ago, and he organized a successful national convention. No sooner than Gaban organized national convention, INEC removed his name and brought in Gombe's name into their portal. And just last week, Gaban has also secured a high court judgment ordering INEC to restore his name. What does this amount to? This is proper confusion. And who is aiding this confusion? This is no other thing that the sitting government, the APC-led government, as postulated by the former PDP chairman Secondus. He said this government is not preparing for an election, but they are preparing for a coronation. And it's, in addition to that, and Atiku added his voice to it, what Atiku is saying otherwise that INEC is aiding APC not to have an election but to have correlation, because the only party that seems to have a clear way for an election in 2027 is the APC. Even the so-called new register NDC also having an issue. The same court that ordered INEC to recognize and register them as a political party in Kogi State, the Federal High Court, has also, by mere motion from unknown people, said that they should be disregistered. Even though they've gone to appeal, or anything can happen in the court. So this is why Atiku had to say that, look, what is happening here is a crime. and INEC is culpable, they are aiding and abetting the ruling party, APC, to ensure that the opposition do not have a proper, road to the 2027 election.
Dr. Peter Piper, we've never had it this bad, really. It's been confusion, name replacing one day. Since this dispensation that I saw, we never saw that an executive name will be removed and another one replaced. Tomorrow will be removed. There will be a tag there by court injunction, by this. The time professors entered into our political scene, where they not just only monitor election, they became resident electoral officer or returning electoral officer, in the whole country. That's when we started having so much of this, from Mahmoud to Mupitan, all shrouded in so much chaos. How can we come out of this?
It's very depressing. It's the worst moment to be a Nigerian. A country we would love to be proud of. A country with so many intellects, intelligent people, intellectuals all over the world. The most populous black nation on the planet, to be deliberately and consciously degenerating into these murky political waters is a shame. And I keep wondering, why is it that with all these professors, doctors, senior advocate of Nigeria, doing all of this, we have come to a point where it is so difficult to analyze, the current affairs in Nigeria. Because even as a public affairs analyst, you begin to wonder, what are these men doing? What legacy do they want to leave behind? Are they conscious that one day they also are going to die? Or do they expect that they will live forever? It is so difficult to imagine. Just like Philip has said, INEC, whenever it's election, just look at all the resident electoral, commissioners, the REC, vice chancellor of this university, a rector of this, professor of this, a PhD holder of this. These are people who are supposed to be the most highly qualified citizens of our country doing this. Professor of law who doesn't seem to have a sympathy or a respect for legal institution, no a regard for the Constitution. What legacy are we leaving behind? What example are we leaving for Nigerian youths? That's why I feel so depressed about this. I think this is the worst time to be a Nigerian. It's the most terrible time to be a true lover of your country. I'm disappointed.
Is there anything the opposition would have done better to warrant INEC treating them better? Or INEC is just being on the side of the ruling party?
We don't have an opposition. When you ask me this question, I'll just be forced to just give you a blanket thing. When you talk, are we talking about opposition candidates or opposition parties? I've been complaining about this thing about opposition almost forever. We don't have an opposition. Opposition means that this is your position and I am holding you accountable for it, so I am taking another position to force you to do the right thing. But we have abandoned what opposition is supposed to be, and we are following career politicians. I repeat this. Tell me who amongst them that you call opposition. Our interpretation of opposition in Nigeria simply means someone who is not in power. That means if you were once in power and then by some, circumstance, you lose control of power, suddenly you are called an opposition.
Okay, all right.
That is not what opposition is supposed to be.
Let me come to you, Philip. Now, what INEC does most of the time is it's like they are the dictates, the whims and caprices of the ruling party, because they just come from the blue and act by what they do. Not if the court determines one, says one, they do another one. I mean, what can the opposition do? Piper just said he doesn't think that we have an opposition. Do you think we have an opposition?
The truth remains that, yes, we have an opposition. But the question is that, is the opposition well organized for the task before them?
Opposition candidates or opposition party?
So the question, we must, be focused on the topic. This is an allegation, an accusation on the part of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on INEC that look, the way you are going, you are aiding the sitting government, the ruling party, to the detriment of the opposition party. In whichever way you want to define opposition, whether we like it or, they are opposition party in this country, and the opposition party are not finding fun. Even in the mouth of the city president, he has said that he derives pleasure seeing the opposition in disarray, and that goes to show that they are opposition, and he's doing everything possible to scuttle the opposition being organized. And this is what Atiku is saying, that the INEC is aiding Mr. President and his ruling party to scuttle the effort of the opposition towards the 2027 election. Take, for instance, the Labour Party. How did Esther, the Nadia emerges as the chairman today? It's all known to everybody. Is that how it should be? How did it happen? Who orchestrated it?
The same thing with SDP.
Exactly. This is what Atiku is saying. Atiku is not saying it because it affects his party. Yes, granted that the latest, onslaught is on his party when Nafiu Gobe said that they have uploaded, their candidate, his own fashion of the ADC into the INEC portal, and the man is saying that look at the provision of the Constitution and the Electoral Act. This is not the way to go. Every party is entitled to only one valid candidate for an election, but the way it's going, INEC has made it possible for a political party to have more than one valid candidate for an election. What does that mean to you? At the end of the day, the court will rule that there are no valid candidates from other political parties. This is what Atiku is saying. We must relate to the statement. We must at this.
Of course, we agree with Atiku 100%. Atiku didn't just invent anything. He's just stating the obvious. It's just like you can see something and the color of that thing is blue, yellow, or green, and you come out to say, hey, I can see blue, I can see yellow, I can see green. So what Atiku is saying is what every other person can see. But the problem is, what is the solution? Because we have the political elites do not seem to be like in other climes where you have, an opposition that is consistent. It brings me to a point I've always made, that as long as our political institutions are not strong, they are not based on ideology, they are not based on principles, they are simply special purpose vehicles, that can be adopted for political reasons.
All right, I don't have much time. There's something I said yesterday. I said no matter how I park my vehicle outside, it doesn't give the armed robber the authority to break into my car. Breaking into my car means he's an armed robber or is a robber. Whether the opposition are formidable or not, or whether they are according to what you think they should be. The umpire, which is INEC, and the ruling party thwarting all the effort of every other person is wrong, and it remains wrong.
To know what you think about the discussions, and I would like you to drop your comments at the comment section. And if today is your first time, please subscribe, like, press the notification button for more information. Thank you.